Welcome to the Voice Room Podcast, Asia's leading podcast on vocal presence, clarity, and high-impact communication. Hey friends, welcome back to the Voice Room Podcast. My name is Carina and I'm your host. Today we are getting into something a lot of people struggle with, even those who seem confident on the outside. That is how to speak up in meetings with real confidence. Whether it's a virtual or in person, with a large team or just your boss, speaking up can feel intimidating. You have thoughts, you have insights, you have questions, but sometimes your voice just stalls. Today, we are going to explore why that happens and how to break through it. Let's dive in. Let's start with what no one really talks about, the invisible dynamics in a meeting room. Even before you speak, there's often a flood of internal dialogue. What if this is obvious? What if I messed up? What if I talk too long? What if I sound dumb? Sound familiar? Psychologists call this the spotlight effect, the tendency to believe others are paying more attention to you than they actually are. The reality is, most people are focused on how they are coming across, not how you are. Once you realize that, it's freeing. You're not under a microscope. You are part of a conversation. Let's talk about what's happening in your body when it feels impossible to speak up. It is not that you are bad at public speaking. It is your nervous system doing its job. When you perceive social risk, like the risk of judgment or embarrassment, your brain activates your fight or flight response. This can cause your throat to tighten, your breath to get shallow, your voice to shrink, your mind to go blank. Understanding this is powerful because now you can work with it, not against it. Confidence in meetings often starts before the meeting begins. Here is a simple pre-meeting ritual that I will recommend to my clients. Number 1, review the agenda ahead of time, or ask for it if it's not sent. Number 2, choose 1 or 2 points where you want to contribute. 3, practice saying your points out loud. Yes, even if it's just to your mirror or to your dog. Number 4, ground your body. Take 3 slow breaths, feet planted, shoulders back. And here is a mindset shift. Your goal is not to be perfect. Your goal is to be clear and useful. One of the hardest part of public speaking is the starting. So let's make that easy. Have a few entry statements ready to go. Here are some examples. To build on what? I would like to offer a different perspective. I've been thinking about this, and one thing that came up for me is, can I ask a question here? These are like training wheels. Once you start rolling, your voice will follow. People often ask, how do I sound more confident? Let me break it down. Confident speech isn't about loud or fast or fancy. It is clear, grounded, intentional. That means ending your sentences with a downward tone. No upspeak unless you are asking a question. Using pause instead of filler words like or I think maybe. Making eye contact when speaking. even in Zoom meetings. Remember, confidence is not a volume, it's a presence. One of my favorite communication tools is the pause. Because when you pause, you signal calm, you invite attention, you buy time to think. Now try this. When someone asks you for your opinion, take a breath before you speak. It shows you're thoughtful, not unsure. Pause are not awkward. They are powerful. Here is the truth. You will have moments where your voice shakes, where you stumble, where you say something and immediately regret it. That's not failure. That's being human. What matters is how you recover. Instead of shrinking, try saying this. Let me rephrase this. Actually, I would like to clarify what I meant. I want to correct myself on the last point. These statements show integrity and surprisingly, people respect them. Here is a radical idea. What if your voice didn't have to be impressive to be valuable? What if the best contribution you could make was a curious question? Has anyone considered this angle? What would happen if we tried it this way? I'm not sure I fully understand. Can someone explain that part again? Questions show engagement. They move the conversation forward. And they take the pressure off needing to perform. Confidence doesn't mean dominating the meeting. In fact, some of the most powerful communicators are the ones who uplift others. For example, I want to highlight something Mr. Tan just said. It's really worth exploring. Let's pause here. Does anyone who hasn't spoken yet want to contribute? This shows leadership. You are not just speaking up, you are helping shape the room. Speaking up in meetings is not about ego. It is about impact. It is not about having the perfect words. It is about having the courage to be heard. Here is the truth. Your voice deserves space. Your ideas matter. You don't need permission to speak. You already have it. Start with one sentence. Say it out loud. Feel the ground under your feet. And speak. Thank you so much for joining me on the Voice Room podcast. If today's episode helped you feel braver, share it with someone you work with. Subscribe, leave a comment, and follow me on Instagram at The Voice Room for more tools, voice work, and behind the scenes. I'm so excited to see you all in the next episode. Until then, take a breath, trust your gut, and let your voice lead.